Friday, November 18th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Very cold start to our Friday with many spots across the foothills and the Piedmont spending an extended period of time overnight into early this morning in the 20s. Many mountain spots obviously well down into the 20s and been down into the teens in some of the higher mountain peaks this morning. And it's going to be a pretty chilly Friday overall. Now there's a look at the temperature scheme across the country this morning, and a lot of cold air in the eastern third of the country, and then the next blast of cold air gearing up into Canada. In terms of the radar, not a whole lot going on in the east. There's some lake effect snows in parts of Pennsylvania and New York State, but out west, that's the beginnings of our next storm system. Let me show you the upper air chart for today off of the European model. This is valid early this afternoon, and notice the energy diving near the west coast here. That's going to carve out another big trough off the California coast. I'll show you that in just a second. But notice the southwest flow aloft kicking in here. That's going to bring in some milder air in time this weekend. Here's how we look by Monday morning. That energy diving down to Southern California, the Baja Peninsula. And again, that's really our main weather player as we go through next week, is this piece of energy and how it might try to interact with anything from the northern stream. The upper level features are just screaming here across Canada. They are racing, and that's the case around the globe. Just tons of upper level energy moving around, and that's just been really tough for the modeling once you get past 3 or 4 days. Let me show you what it looks like, though, on the European by Wednesday. Of course, that's the big travel day, the day before Thanksgiving. It looks like we will see a storm system move through anywhere from late Tuesday into Wednesday. And then behind it, pretty quiet weather for Thanksgiving and Friday. And then beyond, that's what the European looks like by Sunday morning, the Sunday after Thanksgiving, 27th. Now, on the 12Z run yesterday of the European, you had a huge trough that brought some very, very cold air into the eastern part of the country in the days following Thanksgiving. It's not as cold on the 0Z run, and I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see tons of model variability there in the 5 to 10 day range, and the models that go beyond further than that it's going to be really tough for them to resolve these features as they are racing along, and there's a lot of energy aloft all across the globe. All right, let's talk about today. Sunshine, but chilly. At most, Piedmont highs in the low 50s. There'll be many spots in the upper 40s. Another cold one tonight as well, with lows again in the upper 20s in many spots in the Piedmont foothills too. As we get into the day Saturday, though, we'll begin to warm things up. Highs warm well into the 50s across the region. Then by Sunday, it'll be well into the 60s. So a pretty steady warming trend over the weekend. Now, I've gone ahead and thrown a lot of clouds into the forecast, really beginning Sunday and continuing Monday and Tuesday as our next piece of energy begins to approach. And I've held off on the rain chances until late Tuesday. This is Tuesday early afternoon on the GFS. And then finally we see as we get into Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, that's when the GFS brings the shower chances through. It's slightly slower on the European, but it does look like Tuesday and Wednesday our next significant rain chance, with that next system moving through, and then kind of a cool high pressure settles in for Thanksgiving with sunshine and highs in the 50s, it looks like, for Thanksgiving. And then for the big shopping day, Friday of next week, looks quiet at the moment with sunshine, and highs may be warming up toward the upper 50s and lower 60s. We'll see. Okay, that is it for this Friday edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.